On all accounts.
Should be.
Maybe. Yes. No. Anytime now. We'll see if we get the same connection as last time.
Should be better. I clean up this computer.
There we go. And we are live.
What's up?
All right. What is happening? What is happening? What do you got there?
What did I have there?
Yeah, what?
Because it's gone.
What did you have there?
Now we can go. All right.
It's official.
Full of energy now. Guys, welcome to Freestyle Friday. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Kadimah.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going to get into it here. School is back, at least in Texas.
Finally.
And most everybody around. I think everybody's in school now, right? Except for college kids.
Yeah, college, and they're starting here pretty soon.
And they start
too.
next week, maybe?
Something like that.
Or the week after?
I don't know.
So, we're officially on a break. Kind of.
Thank goodness. Had these kids for the past year and a half.
Man, it's been a wild summer.
Man.
It's been a wild summer. And we knew from the beginning it was going to be a wild summer with everybody getting kind of excited about things opening back up. We were busy and packed, and we're thankful. We're uberly thankful, but we're also thankful that your kids are back in school.
Yep. So thankful they're back in school.
Made for some really, really long days, which is great. And if you're watching on Freestyle Friday or Instagram, please say what's up. We'd love to hear your comments and things and answer and ask those questions. Actually, while I'm thinking of it, we should probably have the Insta pulled up. You're going to pull it up?
Yeah, I'll get you here.
Cool. See if we get any questions on there. But yeah, comments, say hello so we can kind of say hello back. And then we're going to be going over the TidBits and talk about what that is. A little helpful keys and things to help you along your fitness journey, nutrition journey, whatever the journey is. We're going to talk about it today. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The TidBits, and we titled this the TidBits because we find that many of you are doing a lot of things right. You're doing a lot of things right. But it's what we call these little tidbits. They're going to help you along the way. Mm-hmm. What is up?
Little extra nuggets
Yes.
that we've come to know from doing this for quite some time.
All right, Sergio wants to know what's in the bowl. Let's talk about what's in the bowl. So, in the bowl was 225 grams. I think it was 226 grams. No, actually it was 235. I went over slightly. 235 grams of Southwest egg whites. And then on top of that was 84 grams to the dot of lean, ground, spicy turkey sausage. Mix that up, put a little Tony seasoning on it. Man, it is a crusher. Even before this, I was already doing this some type of bowl. It is phenomenal. And I will continue eating this. Probably what I'll add though is some toast. Or wrap or something, and
So since we're talking about tidbits, so that's your breakfast. My breakfast, which can be a tidbit, instead of having to cook something every morning, I get the Jimmy Dean's turkey sausage, and I take off the cheese, and it's a great option for breakfast. Quick, easy, takes a minute and a half per sandwich to cook. It's awesome. Like, I don't have to cook breakfast. I don't have to get everything ready, especially when I'm here in the morning, 5 a.m. Pop in the microwave, good to go. It doesn't have to be complicated. When you're meal prepping, we try to make it as least complicated as possible.
For sure, because it's just time you get back.
If it takes longer than an hour to meal prep, I'm sick and tired of it. Like, sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
So the easier you can make it and still be healthy, that's the way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's one tidbit right there.
And
Bam, right
typically, if you notice, both breakfasts have a good amount of protein in them, so they're going to keep you satiated. So tidbit number 2, get some protein in that breakfast, right? If you're not a breakfast person, okay, and I've gone through phases where breakfast was later or my first meal was later, if you're a coffee person, if you're not a coffee person, I would recommend some sort of maybe caffeinated beverage of some sort. Maybe that's a black tea or a green tea. I find these to be very satiating, especially the warmer liquid. Seems to be more satiating in order to get that kind of that body rocking and going in the morning. Um, but
Could be a smoothie.
yeah, there's so many different options. But let's just go over the tidbits here. Let's go over a couple of options. And one of the things that we were discussing when we were talking about this yesterday was what are the keys that you find that'll make you successful in the long term? Like it's little decisions made over and over and over really what give us that success. And this is illustrated in a book or several books, but one of them I think of as the Compound Theory. Also, Atomic Habits, The Slight Edge. All of these books kind of put you in the same focal point, which is making little decisions over and over and over, which end up being almost like an investment account where you've put money in over time. They've compounded on top of each other, and they make, boom, a big result from that. So, what would you say would be a tidbit that you've done or you've incorporated on a regular basis to kind of help you be successful?
Really just being consistent. I mean, we don't do anything special, really. Like, we meal prep, we work out. We're just being consistent. That my goal every week is be as consistent as possible. We're all human beings. We're all going to make mistakes. But the thing that's going to help you out the most is we each have a plan. We've been doing our plans for however long. It's just a daily habit now. Being consistent with those daily habits, like you're saying, is what gives us the most success compared to anything else. We don't look at it as I'm going to do this for 3 months and then I'm going to fall off the rails. I'm going to do this for another 3 months, fall off the rails. It's just part of life. So tidbit number one for getting consistency: do the same thing every morning. If your same thing is wake up in the morning, have your cup of coffee, that way you're on your roll, then bam, you know, hey, once I have my coffee, then I'm gonna have my breakfast, I'm gonna shower, brush my teeth, so on and so forth. But when your routine gets out of whack in the morning, you wake up, you're in a rush because you overslept, and now you don't get your coffee, and then you skip breakfast, and so on and so forth, it's not gonna work. So start your day off with the same routine. It gets you in your routine, and just one thing leads to another, and you keep those good steady habits. So whatever your thing is in the morning, wake up, shower, wake up, coffee, whatever, do the same thing every morning. That way it gets you rolling.
Yep. I find tidbit number two, it's kind of rolls into that consistency theme we were talking about breakfast. Find a breakfast that you enjoy, that you don't get tired of. And we don't mean forever. It could mean for a week, right? If you like McDonald's breakfast and you're like, look, this is just try to make a little bit better choice. Like maybe you get the Egg McMuffin. Try to get it without cheese. Just make that change.
Yep.
Don't make any other change. Just make that singular change. You'd be surprised how many calories you take away just taking away the slice of cheese.
At least 120.
Yeah. I mean, that right there by itself, boom.
That's 15, like 20 grams of fat, depending on the
seems
place.
Like a minute change, but you've done that consistently, and if everything else is the same, and that's the only thing you've changed, you could be surprised. Within 2 weeks, you've already lost a pound of body weight, probably. Just that simple stuff. So finding something in the consistency that doesn't make you feel like you're giving up something so bad helps a tremendous amount. I would say that's one of the tidbits. You're just making a very, very small, minute change in habits. If you're not currently exercising, think about changing your attitude from, and I don't mean like going to the gym, but you're already walking. Add a little bit more steps. Get a step counter and just see how many steps you're putting in a day. Ideally, every single person, based upon what the research has shown, 10,000 steps seems to be a good amount of steps per day. One, to get those NEAT calories, which is this non-exercise calories, as well as get the joints lubricated and moving properly. So where our bodies were meant to move and they were meant to do work. but our Western style of life and our jobs and those things, we're not in the agricultural or, as much anyway. And agriculture has changed, drastically anyway, so we're not doing as much manual labor. And so where our bodies aren't getting that movement that they're used to getting or they were designed to get. So one of the things is just getting extra steps. And I've talked about this with multiple clients, but I do this in my own thing. I'm not feeling like doing some cardio today. I try to get 10,000 steps as fast as possible. So this morning, had a little bit of time between coaching classes. I took 10 minutes and got about, this morning about 2,500 steps, something like that. And then being conscious of when I'm walking in the classes and coaching after we get done with the show today, I'm actually going to do my cardiovascular that I've allotted for the day. And I just try to make little baby steps there. I need a more simple guide.
Yeah, sitting is the
10,000
new
steps seems
smoking.
like a rather large IKEA. It's for you, because I know your job, and I know you have the time because you're on Facebook, is get your butt out, take a break and walk 10 minutes. Walk 5 minutes away from the building, walk 5 minutes back. When you go to lunch, which depending on right now where you're going to go, you're going to drive there because I don't think there's very many restaurants exactly where you're at. Drive to lunch, maybe take your lunch back or eat in your car or whatever, and then again, get out of your car, walk 5 minutes away, walk 5 minutes back. You've already gotten 20 minutes of walking with very little effort, and then do it one more time. And you could do it at your home in the evening or whatever before you kind of get settled, and then you've gotten a 30-minute walk a day. It doesn't take much. If you do 30 minutes walking a day and you consistently do that, it is going to add up.
Yeah, that's close to 300 calories a day.
Yep.
You did 30 minutes of walking.
Yep.
That's 300 calories. That's a lot. That's a lot you can do with just 30 minutes of walking.
I might not walk back. Walk in a circle then.
Yep. All right, next tidbit. Drink more water.
Yes.
Drink more water. I don't like the flavor of water. You're a grown adult. Drink water. Period. Not water in something else no. Drink water. Your kids don't like brushing your teeth, but you still make them do it, right?
Hopefully.
Well, I hope so. Why do you make them do it? Because you know it's good for their teeth. So is water. Drink water. I don't care if you don't like the taste of water. Drink more water.
Tidbit to add on to that, if you really don't like water, okay, you can get one of those flavoring things. Now,
don't overdo it.
Yes, you can overdo it. You can overdo it, but get add a little flavor to it. If you like BCAAs or branched chain amino acids, great way to add some flavor to your water.
Water infuser with some fruits in there.
Yes. All of these are fantastic methods. You'll be surprised how many times, because a lot of people mistake thirst for hunger. So this is a great way to rule that out. So many times before I eat a meal, I'll try to drink 24 ounces before I eat the meal. I do that because I know that I need to hit a certain amount of water that I'm trying to ingest per day. Helps me feel better.
If you're drinking diet sodas or fruit juice or this or that, if 80% of what you're drinking in a week is water instead of diet something or fruit or whatnot, in 3 months you could lose 30 pounds. 30 pounds. If 80% of what you're drinking is water, you can lose 30 pounds. Plain and simple. Don't believe me. Test it out. Do it for 3 months straight. You're probably going to lose 30 pounds if you have 30 pounds to lose. You don't even have to change how you're exercising, how you're eating. If you switch from Diet Dr. Pepper or cranberry juice or whatever to water, you're going to lose a lot of weight. So drink more water. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't like doing a lot of things, but we know we have to do it. Drink some water.
Now, I don't know what Brondo is. Do you know what Brondo is? Stetson, if you could put a link in the
I don't know.
here, I would love to see what this is. But yeah, I'm a big fan of electrolytes because I know a lot of times that can also stave hunger as well. Your body's telling you that you need key minerals, vitamins, and nutrients, and if you're missing that, that's another thing that can kind of hold you back from that standpoint. So yeah, thank you for putting that in there. So yeah, flavoring your water. Start with that. Unsweet tea, Or if you're a sweet tea fan, gosh darn it, take one step and put an artificial sweetener instead. One. Don't, and you could do half of one because an artificial sweetener is 200 times more sweet than regular sugar.
Yeah.
Okay. I will tell you this. All right. I put a half a sweetener in my coffee in the morning. A half a packet. Why? I like the taste. But I also like coffee. So that's how I do my coffee. If we get it from somewhere else, I'm a little bit more extravagant in terms of my additive to my coffee. But the whole thing is I want to take a little bit of the edge off. I'm not doing something crazy, adding a bunch of sugar and cream and etc. every day or anything like that. It's just a little bit to sweeten the coffee the way that I like it, to enjoy it, right? For me, this is enjoyable. Coffee is enjoyable. So sweeten it the way that I like to sweeten it. Typically, I use cinnamon. Well, right now, I'm on an apple pie seasoning kick, which apple pie is still cinnamon. It's nutmeg and allspice. That's all it is. And it adds a delectable flavor to to any coffee-related drink. I haven't tried it in tea yet, but soon enough, it's coming. So, tidbit number 1. Maybe you're not there to get to, or tidbit number 45. You're not there to get.
I don't know what we're on right now.
You're not there to. You're not totally there to drink water, but spritz in a little bit of Mio or some other flavor additive can get you there where you're a little bit closer, right? You're still ingesting water. Thank the Lord, right?
All right.
Let's go with another tidbit. Do we have any
Okay.
questions down there? What do we got?
No questions yet. I know we talked about this yesterday, so let's talk about some fast food options,
Okay.
right? Because we're all human beings. Life happens. We'll have to go into that. We make our meals. We meal plan, but life still happens, right?
Yep.
You travel for work,
Yep.
something like that, and you have to go to a fast food place. Okay. There are fast food places that you could still eat healthy. So my go-to is Chick-fil-A. If I know I have to eat on the go, or we're traveling or something, my go-to is Chick-fil-A. But at Chick-fil-A, I don't get the regular sandwich with French fries. I get the grilled chicken sandwich, an extra side of grilled nuggets, because one sandwich isn't enough protein for me personally. So I get an extra side of grilled nuggets, and then for my side I get fruit, because in the bun for the sandwich is already enough carbs that everybody needs in one sitting. So the carbs from the bun is enough. You don't need the fries. You get your extra protein in the grilled nuggets, and then I get a side of fruit, because fruit's good for you. Yep.
I took that tip, right? And remember when we talked about this, I was like, you got Chick-fil-A? Like, bro, I want some Chick-fil-A. He's like, it's the grilled sandwich and this, and that was a good idea in a pinch, right? And I've had the grilled nuggets. They got a good flavor. Now, many restaurants are catering to the gluten-free community or the celiac, person who has celiac. So they do their preparations where they can provide a gluten-free bun. Now, I got the gluten-free bun. It was still less carbohydrates and less calories than the regular bun. And it's in its own little thing. It was fantastic. It was flavorful. It had good texture and taste. I thought it was going to be bad, and it was good. And I still saved more calories from eating that gluten-free bun, which they have, and they give you the calorie breakdown on their app as well as their menu. What is up, Tyler? Those are great options. Another one, basically, if you go to any restaurant and you find the grilled chicken variation, you're almost pretty safe, right? Chipotle, if you like Chipotle is a super safe option there. What I found out, though, however, is because they use put a shirt on with sleeves. We don't own any sleeves.
What are sleeves?
Yeah. What are those?
If you're going to Chipotle, you can't get the cheese. I'm sorry, you can't. If you're trying to stay in line, can't get the cheese, can't get the queso. You can't really get the guac.
Yep.
But pretty much everything else is fair game. If you want the veggies, throw the veggies on there. You want salsa. So my personal order, Chipotle, I'll get rice. I'll make sure it's just one serving. You know how they like to triple scoop in there. They like to load it up. Don't do that. Just say, hey, one scoop of rice. Once again, plenty carbs for everybody. us included.
Yep.
1 scoop, good. Double up the meat. I tell them put as many sauteed veggies as they want on there because they're delicious and it's going to fill you up. And then get your corn, get your pico, throw some sauces on there. Boom. That's all you need. Meal prep in a pinch. It's good for you. You're not adding a ton of fat or anything. And meat-wise, double the meat if you need that. Bam. Ready to go.
Side note, I found out that after looking at the steak was actually leaner than the chicken because of the steak that they use. So you can have the best of both worlds, get the steak option, and you'll still be in that great safe zone. So I found that to be very, very beneficial at times in a pinch. And you can really duplicate that almost at any Mexican restaurant, right? One of my favorite go-tos is if we're going Mexican food, I avoid the chips at all cost. Gosh darn it.
They add up so much.
Man, and they add up fast. How do you avoid the chips? Man, you drink some water, you eat one chip, or you don't. Because I don't know about you, but one chip guy over here does not exist. All right, so
Nope.
he ain't here. Okay.
Nope.
But my go-to is fajitas. Almost every time, because I just know that besides maybe the way that they prep it in terms of, and again, this is in a pinch. You're going out to eat. You want to have a good time. That being said, JBO is looking carb heavy in them arms. Might need some 21s or more. So, thank you for the comments on the sleeves. Yeah, he's getting a lot bigger, man. We looking about the same size, bro.
We're pretty close to the same weight now.
I mean, here we go. So, but using that as a beacon, I always try to get them to not bring out the sour cream cheese because if it's there, I'm more tempted to eat it. So I just try to eliminate that temptation. Now, some people can do that. I find though, if I'm hungry and really really hungry, I tend to make shorter term decisions, right? Or I'll give in to that temptation. So I try to eliminate that from myself as much as possible. I will allow them to bring out the flour tortillas. No, excuse me, not flour. Corn tortillas. And typically I like them better anyway.
And you can have almost like 3 corn
to 1 flour.
And they're equal the same calories.
Yeah, so you can eat a little bit more too. And then I'll ask them to load up on the veggies and go to town on that, and usually some type of combination on the fajitas. So that's one option. If you're going barbecue, right? You got to be careful here because barbecue is almost every single category is going to be fat, and fat, right? So when you're looking at barbecue, like let's say the only option is brisket, okay?
Go with the lean.
Go with the leanest parts of the brisket and make sure you cut off the juicy morsels of fat if there's any. You got to cut them off, right? Because fat just for us, or for really anyone, is the least sufficient micronutrient. And it also puts on the most weight of anything. But this is also why food tastes so good.
It is.
The fat content of different foods is why food has such tremendous pulls on us, especially now today. So try to do that in a Mexican restaurant. Barbecue's one. If you're going for pizza, you don't.
You don't. You don't.
And if you do, okay, typically they have a couple salads on the menu. They will. Every single pizza place that I've gone to, they've had at least one salad on the menu. I eat the salad first. Get through the salad first and put the dressing on the side. Again, that's unwanted fats. I'm a balsamic vinegar fan. It does the trick every single time. Maybe with a little garlic and herbs on top of that, but man, does the trick. And then, depending on how you feel, because of that, the amount of volume that the salad contains will typically help make you full. Help keep you pretty full, and then maybe you have a slice. And I had to do this when I was in New Jersey. Did this twice, and it was very successful for me to have a salad first and then have a slice of pizza afterwards. I still had to fight the temptation to eat everybody else's pizza, but it did satiate me and keep me full. I would say another tidbit is, and this is in terms of trying to get, and this goes back to the consistency part, trying to go to bed at the most consistent time you can every single night, even on the weekends.
Sleep is so important.
Even on the weekends.
When you don't get it, you hold on to fat. Plain and
Yes.
simple. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to hold on to more fat.
Yes, and the research is showing 7+ hours. 7+ hours is what you need in order to get rid of excess body fat. And now I'm in a different phase of, or a different type of thing right now, but I was holding on to weight for several weeks in a row, especially during the summer where we had additional clients and additional training. I was only getting 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night. And 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night was not allowing me to get the hormonal dose that you get from your sleep. It wasn't until I went on a little small leg trip on a weekend where I had more flexibility and I woke up when my body wanted to wake up and bam, dropped 3 or 4 pounds. Just like that, from getting just a little bit more sleep. And so it's been a conscious effort to go to bed at a little bit earlier time in order to get consistency, or 2 a.m. bedtimes. Pick one. 2 a.m. bedtimes is just your fault. You just like to do that. But you can go to bed earlier. You just don't want to.
So a couple tidbits for helping you get to sleep and stay asleep. 1, don't have caffeine after 2 p.m.
Yep. And you have Diet Dr. Pepper.
Do not have caffeine after 2 p.m.
Every time.
When you have caffeine after 2 p.m., it's going to stay in your system because the half-life is 8 hours or something like that. It's going to stay into your system all the way until you're trying to go to bed. So don't have caffeine after 2 p.m. Number 2, research has shown a high-carb snack before bed helps you stay asleep longer. Well, you hold on, you're not supposed to eat after 8 p.m. False. Doesn't matter when you eat. Anytime between you wake up and you go to bed, it all gets processed the same way. Doesn't get stored after fat because your body somehow knows that it's 8 p.m. No. When you have dinner, 6, 7 o'clock, you go to bed at 10, let's say, have a snack sometime 30 minutes to an hour before bed. That's a little higher on the carbs. Now, once again, this still has to stay within your macro goals, your calorie deficit, whatever you're on, however you're tracking.
Yep.
Have a little more carbs saved up for a snack time before bed, and I can pretty much guarantee you're going to sleep a little bit better because your body's going to feel full, and it's going to, during the night, you burn calories, so you're going to burn off that food. So you're going to feel better instead of waking up, tossing and turning. You wake up at 3 o'clock, you're starving, whatever. Have a little higher carb snack. My go-to, it rotates. Sometimes I'll have Special K protein cereal with some almond milk. Sometimes I have some oatmeal. Sometimes it could be a low-fat peanut butter jelly sandwich. It rotates.
Yeah.
But something a little higher on the carb side, it's gonna help you sleep better.
Yeah. I noticed that when we were talking about consistency, you're talking about all of this is still going to apply to whatever fitness-related goal or thing that you have. So just keep that in mind, that we're giving some basic things, but almost every single one of these can be incorporated. If you know, like snacking at night is one of your favorite things to do, pick some snacks that are higher, they're high nutrient dense but low calorie. And so some of those would be like watermelon. Strawberries is one of my favorite go-tos. Cup of strawberries, which is 140 grams. Whole cup of strawberries is 50 calories. It's basically nothing. And it's still 14 grams of carbs or something like that. It's a lot. And typically I like to do them when they're I like to mix those frozen strawberries in with some pudding and make it into a little snack that way. And the pudding that you choose can be very low calorie as well. They have some reduced pudding type of snacks as well. But watermelon, blueberries, strawberries, all of these are great options. If you're a huge fan of those, there's lots of alternatives from an ice cream standpoint, like that are different low calories, that are almond milk based ice cream or oat milk now based ice cream. And I can tell you, I was an oat milk hater. Hater would be putting it nicely. I go over to this guy's house and I'm looking at I'm in the fridge and I'm like, he's like, hey, you've got to try this oat milk. And I'm like, this is dumb. Milk from an oat. This is dumb, dumb, dumb. I try it. I'm like, I don't like it. I mean, I just was like, I don't get it. And I tried it. I'm like, what is this? And I'm looking on the label and I can't figure out where the fat source is, which is frustrating me some more because I'm like, they're pulling voodoo on us here. So a week, and I mean, I was upset. I kept talking about it. Just ask Kendall. I was upset. A week or 2 weeks go by, or 3 weeks go by, and I'm like, no, I'll try that oat milk thing again. And it must have been a month or something. And I get oat milk in my coffee, and I'm like, that wasn't half bad. I must tell no one that I like this oat milk now. Tried it again. Now it's my favorite. It is good. Dang, it's good. All right.
You're welcome.
Whatever, bro.
Yep.
And still not giving you that credit. But that's a great alternative too. Having a lower calorie type of milk related ice cream, especially because they have whole cartons that are 360 calories, where they're not much at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I mean, Halo Top does a dairy-free option
Yes.
with a good amount of protein in it
Yes.
too.
Man, there's some good options.
There's some good stuff out
We've
there.
done in the past, we've done a protein ice cream on this channel where it was like maybe 200 calories at the most, and the volume that it created was like 6 cups or 7 cups of volume. Man, that's good too. So there's several options out there in order to keep you satiated, especially if you're in a caloric deficit, you're trying to lose weight. I pick foods that give me a nice full filling, you know. So you can have the donut if you're on a diet. However, it just won't be as filling.
You're gonna be hungry again.
So you're just going to have to make some choices that are going to allow you to have that same type of sweetness or same type of satiation with different food options. So that's another tidbit. Pick some high voluminous foods. If you're not a big vegetable fan, I would say start with fruits. Fruits is another good gateway into that. Again, with the watermelon, the cantaloupes, those are great options. Grapes are not terribly caloric dense. They are more so, but they're not, in comparison to other foods, they're not super caloric dense. So there's a lot of great options out there.
And coming back to the vegetables, once again, you make your kids eat them, right? Because they're good for them. I don't care if you don't like vegetables. Eat some from time to time. You're supposed to. Eat them. You don't have to like them. Do you like going to work all the time? Do you like waking up in the morning really early? Whatever. You still do it because you know you have to.
Just a little tough love,
vegetables
guys.
are the
Just a little
same
tough
thing.
love.
Eat some vegetables.
My routine now for sure is a really, really big salad. And I'm surprised at, I mean, it's a container. So I was eating this bowl. It's about, this is 2 bowls, and it's 4 bowls of salad. It's 4 bowls of salad, and I switch my dressings periodically. I've been using balsamic vinegar and kind of a mustard mix. I really like that. But I also use like a Walden Farms or another type of dressing that's very low calorie. And I'm telling you, that whole thing may be 250 calories. I mean, it's crazy. And it's just full with nutrients and vegetables, and I'm super full and feel good. There are so many options. So picking high voluminous foods that are lowly caloric dense.
If you don't know what those are, there's this thing called Google. You can pretty much find out anything you want on Google.
Yep.
Like,
Absolutely.
so many options. Or you can always just ask us on here as well.
Yep. What would you say would be one of your tidbits for when you want to really, really get a dessert fix and you're not looking for the alternative?
My dessert fix, my go-to dessert fix. I used to eat those Lenny and Larry protein cookies, but that's no matter what it is, if I want it to fit inside my calories, I have to do a little bit of research. All right, I can't just go off chart and go get whatever I want. If I need a little bit of a sweet, but I'm still trying to stay within my goal, Lenny and Larry's cookies, not bad. Halo Top ice cream, once again, you can get dairy-free option with a good amount of protein in it. Or, what you could do is just save a little extra calories.
That's right.
You want a Kit Kat bar? Well, save yourself up 300 calories for the day. Or go walk a little extra, go walk that 30 minutes. There's 300 calories. Okay, you can now buy yourself those Kit Kats.
Yeah,
If that's how far you do that once a week, once every 2 weeks, because you just have to have something, you're gonna be okay.
Yep.
It's gonna be fine. Have some leniency.
Yep.
We're not perfect.
Absolutely. So tidbit number 385.
Yeah.
Actually enjoy the thing that you want to enjoy. And it could be not in moderation on that day. It could be a little crazy. But it's not every week, every day, every 2 weeks, every whatever. enjoy the actual thing that you want to enjoy, but keep it in reason. And I mean, if you like full fat cookies and like somebody makes some really good home cookies and you haven't had it in a while and you want some extra nuts in the batch that you want to get made, here's some pecans and stuff in them, then you should have those.
Man, I think I'll have some of those here real soon.
They're coming. Why are we frozen?
I don't know. I think that's...
There we go. We're good.
Okay.
Well, it's coming back. But you can still have those things. Gum. Now, gum is an interesting thing because gum does help. However, research has also shown because of the chewing action of gum, it does satiate you and can create hunger as well. So it seems like it's satisfying you at one point, but it's also making you hungry too. So it's really weird. But they've shown some research on that because of the connection that we have with chewing. So take that lightly. Maybe a mint. Sometimes a mint is very helpful. I don't see that it does the same thing, but I haven't done enough research to kind of tell you on that. Mm-hmm. We could go on and on about these tidbits, and we just wanted to give you so many things, but really we want you to know that it's the little things here that are going to give you really the edge in winning the war against whatever goal you have, whether it's gaining muscle, losing body fat, and almost all the characteristics kind of stay around the same thing. For both gaining muscle and losing body fat, you need to sleep. For both gaining muscle and losing body fat, you both need to drink water. For gaining muscle and losing body fat, you need to have a higher related protein diet. For gaining muscle and losing body fat, you need to have controls or a control of calories. Mm-hmm. Like you have to have something.
Yeah. Can't play the guessing game. It doesn't work.
This is so motivating. You know what? Me too, Ben. Me too. I want to eat cookies right now.
Plain and simple. Stay consistent on whatever lifestyle change you're making, and try it for longer than 2 weeks. Do it for a couple months. Stay consistent. You're going to see some changes.
Yep.
But you have to stay consistent. Mm-hmm. Consistent doesn't mean 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Consistent means a couple months.
Yeah.
Okay?
When we look at and real quick here, when we talk about or have people enroll in our nutrition program, we always have a 90-day commitment because we know that it's going to take that much time, regardless of who you are and how much experience you have. Making additional changes is going to take time, and adjusting to those changes and allowing your body to see the results from those changes, it's going to take about 90 days. Because it may take you 30 days to eliminate 1 or 2 things that were the big headaches in that. And then another 30 days to realize those results from that. And then another 30 days to go, oh, wow, and incorporate 1 or 2 more things. And then by that point, you're like, let's keep going. Let's keep rocking. So that 90 days is about a good estimate for how long we can get before we can get you to kind of commit to these changes, these consistent changes that need to be made over time. Now, with that, I just want to wrap it up today because we can go on and on and on about this. So
I don't like talking that much.
So, guys, if this helped you in any way, whether it motivated you to eat cookies, pick some healthier ones. If it motivated you to eat more gum, eat some healthier gum. Okay, drink some more water. Take some of these tidbits and apply them to yourself, and let us know how they help. I'd love to hear how one of these tidbits have helped you along the way. If you like this content, like it, share it to someone that you may know that may be looking for some small ways to change and add some success to their fitness routine or their nutrition goals or the weight loss goals or whatever it is. This video will also be uploaded on YouTube later this afternoon. And so if you have any questions, feel free to DM us, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, through our website. And the way that our website is connected, if you message us on our website, it does go to many of the coaches at the same time. So some person will receive your information and promptly help you. If you want to talk more in depth, Coach Jacob is available for consultations right now, where you can just sit down and talk. Have a talk and discussion with no obligation about your fitness goals or fitness related things, your questions you have. We love answering questions. We love just having conversation, no strings attached. So if there's anything that we can help you with, please don't hesitate at all to do so. With that, I am one of your hosts again. I'm Kadimah.
Jacob.
And we will see you next week with some more tidbits, or some more things to chat about. And we appreciate you guys for watching. Until next time, see you later.
See ya.